Harold's Fairy Tale. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Harold. He lived with his mother in a small house. Harold was a very imaginative boy, and he was always thinking of exciting stories. One day, Harold was walking in the forest when he saw a little fairy. The fairy told Harold that she could grant him 3 wishes. Harold was very excited, but he didn't know what to wish for. Harold thought for a moment, and then made his first wish. He asked the fairy for a flying carpet. The fairy waved her magic wand and gave Harold a purple flying carpet. Harold was so excited. He climbed onto the flying carpet and took off. He flew higher and higher until he had left the moon behind. But then Harold realized that he didn't know how to stop or slow down the flying carpet. He made his second wish to the fairy. He told the fairy that he wanted to land the flying carpet in his living room. The fairy waved her magic wand and Harold's flying carpet landed in the living room. Harold sat down behind his mother, who was knitting, and he asked his mother to read him a story. Harold thought about how happy and surprised the king would be when he looked out from the castle window in the morning. And then, to his surprise, the last flower was not a flower at all but a beautiful fairy. She held up her magic wand as fairies always do when they are granting someone 3 wishes. Harold didn't know what to wish for, but to be polite, he made a wish and told the fairy that he would use it later. Besides, Harold thought as he started the long walk home, a wish might come in handy sometime. After all the excitement, he was suddenly feeling tired, and he stopped to rest for a while. Harold had brought his purple crayon with him, and he began to draw pictures of the forest around him. He drew trees, birds, and animals, and then he drew a large castle. Harold was very proud of his castle. He thought it would be the biggest and most beautiful castle in the world. And then, suddenly, the castle became real. Harold was overjoyed. He went into the castle and became king. He was a very kind and just king, and he loved all of his subjects very much. Harold never made his third wish. He knew that he was already very lucky, and he was grateful to the fairy for all of his happiness.